Hello friends, welcome to another session of your learning program. I'm Harsimrat, your trainer for today. Our session today is on idioms and phrases. Our objective is strengthening command over the English language. Now you've had so many sessions. You've had sessions on pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, and a lot of sessions on conversation skills. But at this stage, we want to generate a growing interest in English. You see, people who are very fluent in English would be using a lot of idioms in their speech. They speak very idiomatically. So at this stage, you need to familiarize yourself with idioms. It's not that easy. The language is full of idioms and phrases. So what we can do, we can begin a learning process, which is quite interesting. We'll familiarize ourselves with idioms based on certain themes. Today, we'll take up idioms associated with colors. The structure of the session will begin with a definition of phrase and idiom. We'll understand the difference. We'll also have several exercises on usage. And we will start identifying idioms and phrases in short prose passages as well as conversations. It sounds very good indeed. Let's begin immediately. How would I define a phrase? A phrase is a group of words that are used together in a fixed expression. That's quite easy, isn't it? For example, the girls dress up for the farewell party. That's a phrase, dress up. Dress up means to get ready for the farewell party, something girls will always do. But if I say that the girls will dress to kill this year as well, now dress to kill is an idiom. An idiom is a fixed expression like the phrase, but the idiom is different in meaning from the individual meaning of the words. So an idiom does not really apply logic. Okay? Remember that. That's why it becomes a little hard to understand for the person who's not very fluent in the language. Let's compare the idiom and the phrase. An idiom is a special kind of a phrase. The meaning of the mere phrase is easier to understand. The idiom is more complex because it has meaning other than the simple sense of the words. Let's begin with the agenda for today, idioms based on colors. I have a question for you first of all. Black. The color black. I want you to tell me what does the color symbolize in the film starring Rani Mukherjee? I'm sure you've seen that lovely film. Yes, starring Rani Mukherjee and Amitabh Bachchan, but the main character of course is Rani Mukherjee's. Now what does it symbolize? Why is the film called black? Does it symbolize night, darkness, blindness or ignorance? Let's consider the four options again. Night, blindness, darkness or ignorance. Night is too simple an answer, right? Blindness might be a better answer because we can recollect that the character was blind. Darkness, well, her life is dark. Ignorance, now ignorance again is the correct answer because people are very ignorant about handicapped people. So black can symbolize blindness, darkness or ignorance. Let's move on with a little story. The theme of the story is black again, but it has nothing to do with the movie. It's a kind of scenario which can happen in our lives. The story is called The Blackout. It's given in your workbooks, so why don't you read it as you hear me? There was a blackout in the evening. Daddy was in a black humor. It had come to his notice that Deepak, the black sheep of the family, was running away from school. Daddy saw the matter in black and white. He would have thrashed Deepak black and blue, but Deepak was in bed with high fever. Daddy was in no mood to attend the black tie party at office, so he could only read by candlelight. He opened the newspaper to read about the black market. I'll read the story once more And this time I want you to pick up your pencils and underline the idioms in the passage. Shall we begin? All right. There was a blackout in the evening. Daddy was in a black humor. It had come to his notice that Deepak, the black sheep of the family, was running away from school. Daddy saw the matter in black and white. He would have thrashed Deepak black and blue, but Deepak was in bed with high fever. Daddy was in no mood to attend the black tie party at office, so he could only read by candlelight. He opened the newspaper to read about the black market. I hope you've been doing your work and underlining all the idioms. Now I have a little exercise for you. Match the following. The exercise is of course given in your workbooks. In the left column we have the idioms, and in the right column we have given the meaning of each idiom. So you have to match the idiom with its meaning. Let's begin. The first idiom is black and blue. Black and blue. The next, black and white. Next, black humor. Black humor. The fourth, the black market. Black market. Fifth, blackout. Blackout. Next, black tie. Black tie. And the last is black sheep. Black sheep. Now let's look at the next column. Bad mood. Bad mood. Illegal economy. Illegal economy. Power cut. Power cut. Outcast. Outcast. Bruised. Bruised. Absolutely clear. Absolutely clear. And the last, formal wear. Formal wear. Now don't worry if you're finding this slightly difficult. I will be of course explaining the meaning right away. Let's check the solutions. Let's check the answers. The first, black and blue. What does black and blue mean? Daddy would have thrashed Deepak black and blue. The correct answer, bruised. Suppose you're very badly hurt, then your skin becomes black and blue. So, black and blue means bruised. Have you all got that? Let's proceed. The second, black and white. Black and white. Black and white means absolutely clear. Daddy saw the matter in black and white. Daddy has no problems, he knows what's right, he knows what's wrong. Deepak has been running away from school and should get a good thrashing. So, black and white, absolutely clear. Black humor. Now, what's black humor? Black humor is bad mood. Black market, I'm sure you all know that one. Black market is illegal economy. When people don't pay their taxes and hide away that wealth that should have gone to the government, it creates an illegal economy or a black market. Blackout. Blackout is easy. A blackout is a power cut. Black tie. Do you know the answer to this one? Black tie. Most of us don't wear ties these days. But suppose we go to a very formal sort of an occasion, we should be dressed, if not actually in a black tie, in a dress which is described as black tie. It's a formal dress. Black sheep. Black sheep is an outcast. So have you got all the answers correct? Or have you been able to at least match the following as we discuss the answers? That's good enough. Let's proceed. Now I have a little riddle for you. You've just covered these idioms, so it should be easy for you to give me the answer. What is the dress code for a formal party? Yes, you're all right. It's called black tie. Let's carry on with the session. Now I have a long list of idioms for you. They are not at all connected to black. They are connected to a second color. You have to fill in the blanks with a single color. All these idioms are connected to that color. The first, dash-eyed boy. So you have to think now, is it black-eyed boy, blue-eyed boy, green-eyed boy, brown-eyed boy? You have to think about it. Let's see the next one. Once in a dash moon. Once in a dash moon. Next, dash blood. What color is blood normally? Red? This may be different. Dash blood. Out of the dash. Out of the dash. Out of the what? Or out of the red? Out of the pink? Out of the green? Think about it. Dash print. Dash print. And finally, dash collar worker. White collar worker? Is there something called a black collar worker? Just think about it. Let me just repeat these once more. Dash-eyed boy, once in a dash moon, dash blood, out of the dash, dash print, dash collar worker. And we have to fill them all up with a single color. That color is, if anybody got it right, they can pat themselves on the back. The color is blue. Blue-eyed boy. Once in a blue moon, blue blood, out of the blue, blueprint, blue collar worker. What does all this mean? What do all these idioms mean? Let's quickly talk about it. Blue-eyed boy. A blue-eyed boy is a favorite. If I say Prashant is my blue-eyed boy, I mean Prashant is my favorite trainee or my favorite student. Once in a blue moon. Now, once in a blue moon is like Eid ka Chand. It means rarely. Blue blood. A person with blue blood, so to say, there's nothing called blue blood, but a person with blue blood is from a royal family. So Prince William and Prince Harry are blue-blooded. Not that they have blue blood in their veins. Blood is always red. But we assume they're a little different from us. They're from a royal family. Out of the blue. Out of the blue, suddenly, unexpected. Blueprint. Now, what is blueprint? You would find this phrase, this idiom a lot in business circles or in official language. Blueprint is contract. And what is a blue-collar worker? A blue-collar worker is a laborer. You see, a person with a desk job has a white-collar job. So as opposed to the white-collar job, the person who works with his hands, so to say, is called a blue-collar worker. Let's wish you all the best right now. And let's start a second story. It's called Blue-Eyed Boy. As we all recollect, a blue-eyed boy is a favorite. So let's see who this favorite is. He's not my favorite, but he is somebody's favorite. So look at your workbooks again as we read the second story, Blue-Eyed Boy. The senior surgeon's blue-eyed boy, Ajay, had blue blood in his veins. His parents had sent him to a good school, and then they let him be. They told him to study only once in a blue moon. He went on to medical college and specialized in cardiac surgery. Out of the blue, or so it seemed to his family, he got a prestigious position with WHO. As per the blueprint of his appointment letter, the blue-collar worker was very well paid indeed. Have you heard the story carefully and have you read it as well? Because there's a problem somewhere in this story. There is an idiom which is used incorrectly, and I want you to tell me which idiom is used incorrectly. Let's look at the story once more. The senior surgeon's blue-eyed boy. Blue-eyed boy, favorite. So Ajay is the senior surgeon's favorite. I think that is all right. There's nothing wrong here. The senior surgeon's blue-eyed boy, Ajay, had blue blood in his veins. Ajay was from a royal family. That's all right. His parents had sent him to a good school and then they let him be. Normally parents don't let us be. They tell us to study every single day. But Ajay's parents told him to study only once in a blue moon.
He went on to a medical college
and specialized in cardiac surgery. Out of the blue, or so it seemed to his family, he got a prestigious position with WHO. Now his family thinks it happened unexpectedly. They sent a child to the boarding school, they never told him to study, and then he got a job with a good organization. He became a good doctor. So as per his family, it all happened suddenly. But think about poor Ajay, studying for his medical exams, going through medical college, applying for jobs. It wasn't out of the blue. But anyway, the usage is correct here. As per the blueprint of his appointment letter. Now that's a contract, right? The blue-collar worker was very well paid indeed. So have you figured out which of the idioms is used incorrectly? Yes, you're right. It's the blue-collar worker. I think I've already explained to you that a person with a good job is normally a white-collar worker. Dr. Ajay could not be a laborer. He can't have a blue-collar job. Although the surgeon, of course, will operate with his hands and not on paper. But yet, we call a good job a white-collar job. Now, I have another little riddle for you and I expect you to give me the answer immediately. It happened suddenly and was not expected to happen at all. I'll repeat, it happened suddenly and was not expected to happen at all. You're all right, out of the blue. Out of the blue, I got a good job. So tell me, which of the idioms we have read recently fits in here? I'm sure you can all get it right. It happened suddenly and was not expected to happen at all. Yes, you're right, out of the blue. Out of the blue, I got a good job. Okay, now we're going to move on from blue to another color. This one's my favorite. Red. How many of you like red? Okay, a lot of you like red. Red is one of the three primary colors. Red is a bright color. Most of us love red, right? Okay, now we have several idioms which are associated with the color red. For example, see red. Another common idiom, red-handed, red letter day, a red herring, red-faced, red tape. All these idioms are associated with our favorite color. I'm not going to tell you what these idioms mean. I want you to tell me what each and every idiom means. And how are we going to do it? We're going to pick up another little story, and by the time we have understood the story, we should know exactly what every idiom means. So are you looking forward to story number 3? That's good, because the story is called Thus the Superhit. How many of you saw the film Thus? Shall we start the story? Are you all ready? Workbooks ready, pencils in hand? All right, let's begin. Thus is the exciting story of a manhunt for a global terrorist. The villain has planned mass murder in Toronto. He is caught red-handed. The climax happens right on the red letter day. It's not an easy operation for the anti-terrorism experts. They are bogged down by red tape. The chief is red-faced after an agent turns out to be an enemy informer. And a car bomb is a red herring for the real murder weapon, a bomb in a plane. The movie ends with the touching self-sacrifice of one of the agents. The chief finally sees red and shoots the villain dead. Let's read the story once more. Thus is the exciting story of a manhunt for a global terrorist. What's a manhunt? Yes, when you're looking for that one person who will be responsible for God knows what. That's called a manhunt. The villain has planned mass murder in Toronto. Do you remember the story? Do you? Where this Jamwal character is planning to kill 20,000 people on one day. He is caught red-handed. The climax happens right on the red letter day. Now I'm sure you do remember that when they finally catch the villain, it's just minutes before the bomb would have gone off. It's not an easy operation for the anti-terrorism experts. They are bogged down by red tape. They can't perform their work easily. They have so many problems. They are bogged down by red tape. The chief is red-faced. Now, who was the chief? That's right, the chief was Sanjay Dutt. The chief is red-faced after an agent turns out to be an enemy informer. And a car bomb is a red herring. For the real murder weapon, a bomb in a plane. Do you remember that part? We thought the movie had ended when they found the car bomb. But then we found, no, it wasn't the car bomb which was the real murder weapon. Actually, there was a bomb in a plane. The movie ends with a touching self-sacrifice of one of the agents. Who was that? Correct, that was Abhishek Bachchan. The chief finally sees red and shoots the villain dead. Yes, we all saw that. So now you have to tell me the meaning of the phrases. I'll give you one example and then you have to tell me the others. The first one, see red. Lal dekhna? No, not lal dekhna. See red means to get very angry. The chief finally sees red and shoots the villain dead. To see red means to get very angry. So let's begin the exercise. The first idiom is red-handed. The thief was caught red-handed. You have to tell me what red-handed means. Next, red-faced. The chief was red-faced when one of his men was an enemy informer. Red-faced. Next, red herring. Red herring. The car bomb is a red herring. The actual bomb is in the plane. What does red herring mean? Next, red letter day. Red letter day. The plot is solved on the red letter day. And the final one, red tape. Red tape. The agents find it difficult to do their work because there is so much red tape. So what does red tape mean? Let's discuss the solutions. Red-handed means caught in the act. Range haathon pakde jana. That's the meaning of red-handed. Red-faced. When do our faces go red? When we are embarrassed. So red-faced means to be embarrassed. A red herring. Now this might be a little difficult for you. A red herring is an issue raised for distraction. So the car bomb is a distraction when the real bomb is in the plane. Suppose the police find out what the plot is and suppose they actually reach the stadium, then they can find the car bomb. The real bomb in the plane will be overlooked. So the red herring is an issue raised for distraction. Red letter day. I'll give you a hint. Think about the calendar. Now, which dates are in red on the calendar? The holidays and Sundays, so important days. Red letter day, important day. Red tape. Red tape would be bureaucratic delay. What does that mean? We often have a lot of problems that it's very difficult to get work done because you have to go to so many offices and meet so many clerks and get signatures. All that is bureaucratic delay. Now, at the end of this story too, and at the end of this exercise, I have another little riddle for you. Now, in bullfighting, have you people seen bullfighting? You must have. If not actual bullfighting, you may have seen something in Hindi cinema, right? In bullfighting, the matador or bullfighter waves his cape to provoke the bull into charging. Have you seen the scene? You'll see a bull and you'll see a man in front of the bull. The man has to wave a piece of cloth at the bull and then the bull charges at the man. That is bullfighting, right? Okay, in bullfighting, the matador or the bullfighter waves his cape to provoke the bull into charging. So like a bull, I become aggressive when I become aggressive when that is right, when I see red. So like a bull, when I see red, I charge. I don't actually charge. I lose my temper. I start shouting. I fight with people, whatever. Okay, now I have another little exercise for you. It's a fill in the blank exercise. You have to fill in the blanks with an idiom associated with the color, which I will indicate. Shall we begin the exercise? The maths teacher dash when the students don't do their homework. I'll repeat. The maths teacher dash when the students don't do their homework. So fill in the blank with an idiom connected to the color red. The second one, in a family of doctors, a son with a BA degree is likely to be a dash. Now, here we'll fill in the blanks with an idiom associated with black. In a family of doctors, a son with a BA degree is likely to be a dash. Black what? Think about it. Finally, the brothers were separated in childhood. बिछड़े हुए भाई, dash, they reunite as adults. Now you have to use an idiom connected with the color blue. Okay, let's discuss the solutions. The first one was rather easy because we'd already done an exercise in which we had the same answer. The maths teacher sees red when the students don't do their homework. Now, maths is an important subject and you have to be very regular with your maths homework. When you don't do your homework, the teacher gets angry and she should be angry. The maths teacher sees red when the students don't do their homework. Next, in a family of doctors, a son with a BA degree is likely to be this is easy, black sheep. Now, where everyone is a doctor, how can you have a son who's just done his BA? He's not a doctor, he's not even an engineer. The poor son would be a black sheep. He's not even an engineer. The poor son would be a black sheep. Let's go to the next question. The brothers were separated in childhood. The bichda hua bhais now meet as adults. Out of the blue, they reunite as adults. So I hope you got all three right. How many of you have scored 3 out of 3? Good. Alright, now we've covered only 3 colors, red, blue and black. But there are idioms associated with many more colors. Okay, I will just give you a few examples for now. I would like you to continue this exercise. Think of more and more idioms which may be associated with the other colors. Keep them in mind because idiomatic speech is really very interesting. And a person who is fluent in the language would be very good with idioms. I could use a lot of idioms to describe the way I'm feeling. For instance, I could be red with embarrassment. I could be blue with the cold. I could be green with envy. What is envy? Envy is jealousy. Now remember the advertisement of the Onera TV? Neighbors envy, owner's pride. Because the neighbors don't have it, they are green with envy. I could be black with anger, I could be white with fear, I could be grey with pain. Let's take a few examples. When my grandfather mistook me for my mom, I went red with embarrassment. The best student won all the prizes. The others were green with envy. I was blue with the cold of the winter's day. The player had broken his ankle on the field. His face was grey with pain. My brother is rather short-tempered. He was black with anger when his friends teased him about being fat. Honi Unhoni was a scary show. I was often white with fear by the time each episode ended. But I watched every episode. So these are ways in which colors have been used to describe feelings. I would like to invite my friend Ridhima to join me in a conversation. Listen carefully to the conversation between Deepak and his mom. Now, do you remember Deepak? We met Deepak in the first story. He had run away from school and was going to get a thrashing, but then because he was in bed with fever, he was spared the thrashing. So it's going to be a conversation between Deepak, played by my friend Ridhima, and his mother. I'll be the mother. We'll try to incorporate all three stories into the same conversation. I want you to listen carefully to the conversation and stay busy too. Don't just listen. Underline all the idioms based on colors that you find throughout the conversation. The conversation is, of course, given in your workbooks. You have to underline all the idioms that you've learned today. Let's see how much you've learned. Hello, who's there? Oh, it's your dad, Deepak. He's skipping the black tie party he had to go to. I'm afraid he's in a black humor. Your class teacher called us this afternoon. But don't worry, dear. I'll talk to Daddy.
He'll be black with anger, Mom. He sees things in black and white.
Ajay is a doctor, and his parents just dumped him in a boarding school. They met him only once in a blue moon.
Oh, I'm the black sheep of the family?
Actually, you're my blue-eyed boy.
What did Daddy say to man?
He said he would thrash you black and blue for running away from school. You're lucky to be in bed with fever. He was red-faced when he got the news. Never mind all that. Tell me what you did on your day out.
We saw a great film, Mom. Thus.
Tell me the story.
There's a bomb in a car, but that is red herring. The real bomb is in a plane.
Really? Let's listen to the conversation once more. And then we will discuss the solution, of course. Hello, who's there? Oh, it's your dad, Deepak. He's skipping the black tie party he had to go to. I'm afraid he's in a black humor. Your class teacher called us this afternoon. But don't worry, dear. I'll talk to Daddy.
He'll be black with anger, Mom. He sees things in black and white.
Ajay is a doctor, and his parents just dumped him in a boarding school. They met him only once in a blue moon.
Oh, I'm the black sheep of the family?
Actually, you're my blue-eyed boy.
What did Daddy say to man?
He said he would thrash you black and blue for running away from school. You're lucky to be in bed with fever. He was red-faced when he got the news. Never mind all that. Tell me what you did on your day out.
We saw a great film, Mom. Thus.
Tell me the story.
There's a bomb in a car, but that is red herring. The real bomb is in a plane.
Really? Okay, now let's discuss the answers. I'm sure you got them all right. The first, black tie party. Next, black humor. Next, black with anger. Next, black and white. Next, once in a blue moon. Next, black sheep. Next, blue-eyed boy. Next, black and blue and red-faced. And the last, a red herring. So, have you got them all right? You should have got them all right because we'd covered each and every one of these idioms in the stories. Okay, now I have a little test for you. You have to fill in the blanks with the appropriate idiom. In the first, you have to fill in the blanks with idioms based on colors. Okay, now there are two friends talking here, so I'll invite my friend Ridhima to join me again.
Hi Rekha, how was the movie?
Not very good. The suspense built up for over an hour, and then dash, there was a song and dance sequence. It made me dash. You must have got that. Not very good. The suspense built up for over an hour, and then suddenly, out of the blue, there was a song and dance sequence. Now, how do you feel when you see a movie of this sort? You know, you may sit back and enjoy it too, but when you go to a hall to see a film and you want to see something good, you feel angry. It made me see red. So you must have got these right. Out of the blue and see red. Okay, in case you didn't get both the blanks correct, I'll give you one more chance. Now there's another little conversation here, and there's only a single blank to be filled with, of course, an idiom based on colors. I'll invite my friend Ridhima back for this little dialogue, and let's see you get this right.
What are you doing these days?
I'm a sales executive with Tata Indicom.
So there's no job security in that.
That's true, but there's no dash in the private sector, so one can be more productive. You must have got this right. You must have. What is the private sector famous for? Efficiency, right? So that's true. But there's no red tape in the private sector, so one can be more productive. Okay, friends, with that we come to the end of the session. Now I hope you've enjoyed the session. It's a very interesting session in the sense that the use of idioms makes the language more robust, more interesting, more spicy. People who are fluent in English will be using a lot of idioms. So I would like you to go home and make it a point to use at least 5 idioms in your conversation with your family or your friends. So all the best. Happy learning.